back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm here with Twinny. Hey! And today we're going to be going to the Harlem Fashion Roll Summit, so stay tuned to see what we have in store.
Love is so blind, it feels right when it's wrong. Can't believe I fell for your schemes. I'm smarter than that. So woman, I need to believe that with me you're a changed man. Foolish for me to compete when you cheat, when you swimming. It took me some time, but now I'm moved on. Cause I realize I got myself. All I got is what I found out. And it ain't no need to cry. I'm gonna be my own best friend. Myself, it's all I got in the head. It's what I found out, and it ain't no need to cry. I'm gonna be my own best friend.
Commitment from a company. So congratulations to you guys on that. We've seen more brands making bold commitments. How is H&M working to communicate those efforts clearly and really making people feel more connected to the process?
So, I mean, when we talk about supply chain decarbonization, it's not something usually that our customers are leaning into. It's hard to communicate that, particularly when they come there to find affordable, fashionable clothing. Not all the time they want to. They're coming there for a lesson. It's our job to make sure that the products themselves are more sustainable, so they don't even have to think about it when they're purchasing. So one of the best things that we're trying to do when it comes to how we communicate it is now looking at consumer-facing initiatives, particularly like our circularity when it comes to our pre-loved activations that we've had recently. Really, really cool activation that we did a couple of months ago. We have 20 years of guest designers and 20 years, I think it might have been Karl Lagerfeld. Yeah, he was the first one. We've had Versace, we've had Stella McCartney, Magna, and so she's our latest. She's coming out on Thursday, so I'm wearing her a little bit. So I want to show you guys what's going on. But once again, we decided to basically go out and source, wholesale sourcing. If anyone has ever tried to wholesale source secondhand clothing, you know how difficult it is. Particularly when you have a bounty or you're looking for a specific item. We searched high and low globally, and we were able to find around anywhere between 3,000 and 5,000 pieces. And so we had a week-long event where we were in 7 international.
Feel more inclusive and within reach. And I feel like you kind of talked about that along the supply chain, but when you're communicating, are there some tools and ways that you are communicating to the consumers that are very conscious?
I mean, that's a hard thing. You know, as a brand, we do market research with our customers, and they talk about how important sustainability is, but then maybe not so much when it actually comes to selection. There's some competitors of ours, maybe not so sustainable, who they might flock towards because of price. And so we have to be more thoughtful about how we're engaging with them, making sure that our pieces are relevant in order to pull in those customers and have an assortment that meets their expectation, and so that we are producing more efficiently. So producing less, selling more, without necessarily creating that abundance of overproduction and sale and the like. So some of the other ways.
You guys, as solutioning partners, divide and conquer in your business.
So, I mean, obviously I'm the chocolate one.
And I promise Jeffrey I'm being on, but
I learned from him. Like again, like when I met him, I was still in college. Jeffrey had a brand at that time. He again, like I met him. He was working. You know, our second date, he took me to the Met. He had his garments that he made for Salt and Pepper on exhibit. Like that's, you know, he taught me. Yeah, and he won't tell anyone.
No,
he's so Pete Red. He doesn't tell anybody any of this. But like, you know, that was the magic when I first met him, was like seeing that happen and seeing these people like sort of come into the studio and work. And And that, you know, again, like, that's so valuable to how, you know, people don't design all the time with the actual human, you know, in their mind or in front of them. So I think it's something that can't be lost, like, as the craft, and it goes down to even, like, you know, again, how you manufacture. Like, you want the way you manufacture, and it was touched on by several of the other panelists today, like, the manufacturing that you do, like, has to be ethical. It has to treat people like craftspeople and not like, you know, not human.
Yeah, Miguel. But how are you engaging employees like inside the building for the work and creating really a culture of sustainability from the inside out?
And it's so important to do that. And so the way we've kind of approached this is twofold. The first thing is we created an ambassador program. So the ambassador program is looking through, let's say, your marketing team, your merchandising team, your legal team, who can represent sustainability in that particular pyramid. And we selected people throughout the organization to be these ambassadors, or actually they were acting ambassadors, and we meet with them quarterly, right? And what we're looking for colleague resource groups. So these colleague resource groups can be all kinds of different things. For sustainability, we have Better Earth, and anybody throughout the company can join a colleague resource group. We have them at Macy's, we also have them at Bloomingdale's, and they're people who are passionate about a topic. And we also have our colleague resource groups also collaborate as well together. So, you know, they're promoting each other's events, and it really helps to get the word out. And if you think about a store like Macy's, we've got stores, we've got distribution centers, we've got merchandising teams. You know, that's sometimes a challenge to be able to communicate to a total ecosystem.
Here with all of you today. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Danielle James. I'm an award-winning journalist, editorial leader, and content strategist based here in New York, and I'm very excited about our conversation today. We have an esteemed panel today. I'm just going to give everyone a moment to introduce themselves.
I'm Bruce. I'm Glenn. And together we're BruceGlen.
My name is Kevin Leonel.
Hello, my name is Talia Bella. They put my last name Pepe, but you can just say Talia Bella or Talia.
I'm so glad that you're all here today. I'm going to get right into it because we have a lot of questions. This question is for everyone on the panel. When did fashion become more than just fashion for you? When did it become personal, political, or purposeful?
I grew up playing sports, and I noticed all my life that there was never a way to merge sports merchandising just with personality too. Like, if it wasn't jerseys, like, that was it. And what made it personal for me was that I was just like, during COVID, I taught myself how to sew. I wanted to make something for myself that badly because I couldn't find any stores. So just with that motivation, I was able to just kind of jump into it and just get a better understanding of like what it takes to be in a sustainable world and like what's the motive behind it. So
I rewear things. I have an older brother, so those clothes are passed down. So it's like, you know, being conscious and being aware at a young age that this is just more than material as well. So I don't know if there's a right answer to this, but I never seen it any other way. It always meant something more than, you know, wearing a fit.
About 20 years ago, okay? I know I only look 20 years old, okay? You're supposed to let them say it, not you. And we were designing for a lot of urban celebrity brands and working for a lot of big companies. So we were doing whatever the market dictated, right? And even when we had done like little projects on our own capsule collections, we were also doing what we knew to do. Yeah, we would literally go into the boutiques that we wanted to be in and see what they were designing, and we would design a version of that. But in 2020, something happened. It's a long story, too much to tell now, but it's told many times on the internet somewhere, you can find it. We had an epiphany, you know, we had an epiphany that we shouldn't be comfortable or give up on our dreams because we had been doing it for so long that we were sort of kind of tired and burnt out. And at this point, we were working full-time for a menswear brand. I was designing and Glenn was doing the marketing for the same brand. But in 2020, we had this epiphany that we needed to start again and not get comfortable with where we were and to dream again. And that dream sort of just opened up a whole new realm for us, and we started creating really what flowed out of us naturally.
As opposed to what we saw in the market. We were like, okay, when we sit down to design, this is what comes out, and so let's just do what comes out.
And that's when it became personal for us. It was about designing what made the childhood BruceGlen happy, you know.
As you can see, right?
Lots of color, lots of pattern, lots of print, and that's our story.
Who wants to shop or style more sustainably but doesn't know where to start? What's your advice for making it feel authentic and personal, not performative? In 2 sentences each.
Goodwill. Thrift store. Goodwill. Like authenticity is bred when you have very limited resources. You gotta figure that out. And then when you get all your other things, it just all makes sense later. But to start, get in that thrift store, figure it out, get a few things together, cut a few things, buy a few extra fabrics.
Absolutely. I'd say the same thing, and also BruceGlen.com.
Period.
Check that out. There's an Easter sale that's still happening until the end of today. There's a lot of entry-level price points.
And I say 100%. If you want to get into it, definitely recommend not just local sourcing, but if you ever get the itch to be designing yourself, definitely local manufacturing as best as you can, because that really ties into not just sustainability in terms of production, but like the fair wage plays into it, and you know, you're helping the money stay in the community. So I definitely recommend local production wherever you're at.
Agreed.
Hey y'all.
Hey! So we are back from Harlem Fashion Rose Sustainability Forum. This is their 4th annual forum this year.
And our first time going.
Okay. So Jessie, what did you think?
I loved it. I mean, honestly, a lot of the information was great for people who are like fashion designers and upcoming, fashion designers. Even though we're not fashion designers, we're fashion lovers. And, it was, fashionistas. It was definitely, nice to get all that information, to know how like these brands are basically, trying to make sure that the clothing that they have are sustainable, to the earth, because, today is National, Earth Day? Yes, Earth Day. So that's why, this is a perfect forum on this day. So yeah, it was a lot of information. We got to hear from H&M, Macy's, and as well as BruceGlen and a couple of other people. So
yeah, I like that. I enjoyed getting a go bag, so we got like a goodie bag, which I love. Gotta love a goodie bag. I think it was really cool because I think even if whether or not you're the designer, it's always good to know about like the work that goes into clothes, like, and how if we want to stay here for a long time, right? So it's always nice to hear the different things that they're doing in order to make fashion sustainable. So I thought it was really cool, and it was just nice. It was also just nice to network with other people. I saw some people from other events that I recognized, so it's just nice to network and just catch up and just, be the vibes. And I feel like they had good food, great vibes, great picture, very picturesque spot, so loved it. No complaints here.
No complaints, so yeah.
All right. Well, we will catch you next time.
Bye.